John Sewell with Engearment.com. We're setting up the Quechua Air Seconds 4.1 extra large tent. This is an air beam tent. So there's a lot of videos out there on this tent, but we're going to be testing it in the mountains of Colorado in weather, about to get a storm. And I'm using a automatic air pump as opposed to a hand pump. So kind of a fun variety. So let's get into it. Part 2, the tent. Took me about 20 minutes to set it up. My wife helped me with placing the stakes. It comes with a lot of stakes, a lot of guy lines. A nice system too. It's very easy to use. The 3 blue air chambers you saw me fill up at the beginning of the video. And then after that, I put 4 stakes, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and then we went around to use all the guy lines. So come take a tour with me. Every guy line was already attached to the tent, making it very easy to set up. The stakes that come with it are nothing special. They're just these guys right here, and it comes with extra ones and extra guy lines. So you can see all the guy lines right here. And after you set up the guy lines, I go back and I retension all of the guy lines, making sure they're nice and taut. And we do that. Grab the cable and just pull a little bit right there. Stays in place easily. There's the rear vent. Here's the entrance to the tent. It is huge. Double zippered, and the canopy you saw down earlier I have rolled up and stowed with included straps here. Come on in. Check this out. Each side has these generous windows for circulation. One on this side, and we'll rotate over here. One on that side. Nice place to get away from mosquitoes and the sun. Really well laid out. My wife is observing the flooring comes up about 4 inches, several centimeters, so that's great to keep the water and splashback from coming in the tent. There are pockets right here for various odds and ends. And then there's a pole that goes right here. So there's 3 beams that support the tent, and then this pole right here goes across and inserts, creating the structure. It's actually pretty well thought out. It's our first time using it, and we were able to figure it out without looking at instructions. Nice big zipper right here. And then you can see the master bedroom. And then I'll go in there and show you for reference how tall it is. So plenty of room for 3-person, honestly, 3 or 4 people. It's a 4.1 is what they call it. A couple of dogs. We have 2 65-pound dogs. Vent right here. Little hanging for objects right here for lanterns and such. It's really nicely laid up. And there's internal pockets as well on the bottom of the tent. 2 right there, and then 2 on the other side. So yeah, there's the inside of the tent. It's all suspended already. When you set up the tent, it's all suspended, so you don't have to set any of this up. You simply do the 3 chambers on the outside, and then like I showed you the guy lines, and you are set up. So the real test now is going to be how's it going to handle the storm here in Colorado. We're going to camp for 2 days in these beautiful mountains, and it's going to rain any second. So I'm going to report back how it actually does in winds, because this is actually where I test a lot of 4-season tents year-round in the snow and in the wind, the rains and all that stuff. So this is the biggest tent we've ever used, so we anticipate it'll probably catch a lot of air. So stay tuned for part 3. The final review. During the process, we had a family of 4 sleeping in this tent in the mountains of Colorado during rain and hail. Pretty typical June weather here in Colorado at an elevation about 9,800 feet. So it has been put through the typical Engearment testing parameters and has passed, which is awesome. I didn't expect it would, given the size of the tent and how it would handle wind and the elements, but here we are, it's doing great. So the tent still holding up strong after 2 days of use. Let's go inside and I'll show you the space we have. So already showed you all the functions and stuff, but I just want to show you my observations and what looks like being used by a family of 4. Tons of livable space for the vestibule here to set things up. One thing they did note, and I noticed as well, The bathtub floors are nice, but they're not sealed. So that does go to the outside world. Now, not too sure what part of the world you'll be living in and testing this tent and using it. But my concern there potentially would be some bugs, critter could get in here and rummage through your stuff. Just something hasn't happened to us, but something to think about. And then here's the layout for the sleeping pads. As you can see, plenty of room for 4 people. And then it's huge vestibule to change in, stand up in. Again, like I mentioned in the very beginning, I am 6'1", and I don't touch until I get over to here. Very tall tent. So there it is. Would we at Engearment recommend the Quechua 4.1 air suspension tent? Yes. We've had several of our testers test it out now, and can definitely give it a thumbs up. It is not light, but it does pack up pretty small for what it is. Great for family, cheaper than van life, a lot of space, probably more space than a lot of overland setups. So hopefully this detailed review and seeing how we're using it here in Colorado has been helpful, so you can determine if this is the right tent for you and or your family. If you got any questions, put them in the comments below. Do my best to get right back to you. I'm Sean Sewell, owner and director Stoke for Engearment.com, and until next time, take care.